Hey team, today we're going to be talking about double unders and how we can go about improving those or starting to learn them. I have 3 tips. The first is finding the right rope length. A lot of people don't know a good test to find the correct rope length, but I always step on the middle of the rope and pull it up, and if it reaches about the armpits, it's probably a good rope length. Second is when you start your double unders to have the correct wrist angle. So I see a lot of people go about their double unders with the jump rope pointed up. I point that jump rope down so we can engage the wrists more and not have to use so much shoulders. The third tip is to not break at the knees or the hips. So I see a lot of people whenever they do double unders, I'll try to demonstrate. They break at the hip and it just throws everything off. So don't do that.
All right, guys, we're going to run through 3 quick drills for the double unders. First one, our setup, we're going to start every time, try to be as consistent as we can. Hands out in front, we're going to drop them slightly to the hips with that rope just against the back of that lower leg. And then we're going to go with some catches for a good set of 10 here. Reason being, we want some tension as we pull that rope back behind us again. But most of that movement should come solely from the wrist. So this may be a little bit more or looks pretty easy, but maybe a little bit more difficult, you know, when you start trying to go through it. Try not to watch the feet either. We don't look at the feet when we do our double unders. Second, our timing. And so you don't need a rope necessarily for this. We can drop this. It looks pretty ridiculous, but we're going to go through some hops and just timing at the peak of our jump. We want to make a little slap at the hips to hear that noise. So you'll have 2 noises to where it's hands and feet making contact with the floor. And then we can add 2 hops or 2 pats at the top of that hop. Until you can kind of get into a consistent rhythm there of timing it, and then what that would look like with the rope, same idea, just kind of flicking the wrist without having to actually spin the rope with each jump. 2. And then if we can get consistent with that, we'll start applying it actually to our spins. So once we master these singles, we can start throwing in a double, spacing these out, working on rebounding and not stopping after a double, and then we kind of just close that gap. So if we go every 3 or 4, then we just try to close it, maybe every 2, every other 1, until you can start stringing those together.
All right, 60-second challenge, as many double unders as you can get. See if you can beat Gage. I probably should have started.
Oh, man.
10 seconds in.
Ah.
20.
20. Dang it. Go get it.
30. 40. 10.
It's logging.
3, 2, 1. Time. How many did you get, Nick?